Well, hello friends, welcome back. In today's video, I'm using the mic on my phone. I don't know, I'm at the point where I just don't want to play with the mic anymore, the Blue Yeti that I use, because I don't know, I just don't want to. So anyway, today we're talking about some new face products that have just come out. I bought two different shades of the new foundation from About Face. And I also bought one of the new concealers from Fenty. This one I was able to look at in store, swatch, and see which one was best for me. And I think this one is pretty perfect, honestly. The reason that I bought two of the Fenty foundation, though, the About Face foundation, is because I could not for the life of me tell, based on the pictures online, what would be good for me. So, these are the options. I have LM1 Cool, and I also have LM2 Neutral. I feel like, in terms of depth, they are not particularly different, honestly. Even though it's an LM1 and an LM2, light medium 1 and light medium 2. And also in terms of undertone, this one does seem neutral, but this one, it's supposed to be cool and it's supposed to have like a cool pink undertone, but it feels a bit more peachy to me. Let me just swatch them both on the back of my hand. I think that the LM2 neutral one is the one that works best for me. Although I think, so I tried these both yesterday for the first time. So this isn't technically my first time applying these. I think that the more neutral one does work better for my skin tone, although it's a little deceptive on camera. It kind of looks like the cool one would be better. Maybe because my face is so like rosy right now, but I think that the neutral one is a little bit better. I don't know, to me that doesn't look super cool, the cool toned one. It looks kind of peachy, but the way that I did it yesterday when I played with these was I took the cool and I kind of put it on my cheeks, my forehead, down my nose, a little bit down here, and then I took the neutral and kind of put it on like the edges of the face, and I just kind of blended them together, and that worked really nicely. That's what I'm going to do today as well. So I'm just going to show you that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a wear test. Oh gosh, what time is it? It's, what does that say? 12:56, 12:55. It's like almost 1 o'clock. Then I'm going to come back later in the day, tell you how the product wore. I wore it yesterday for maybe 6 hours. It wore very nicely, and I noticed that it didn't wear away here from my glasses the way that most other products do. It wore away a little bit, but not nearly as bad. So I really liked that. My face is primed. It's cleaned and primed. I'm wearing my e.l.f. primer. So I'm just going to get started with this while I continue talking. Oh, I also want to show you the difference between the Fenty concealer and the Huda concealer that I usually wear, because the Fenty concealer does look, not as light, but it actually, I was wearing it yesterday and I was like, yeah, you know what, this still looks brightening. Like it's not like too dark or anything. Works really nicely. I don't know, I'm just kind of like placing this however. This one is the neutral. I'm just gonna put it like here, all over down here. I think I like that it has this applicator like this, because it kind of makes it easier to, I don't know, just kind of like put it where I want it. I don't know, maybe that's a silly observation, but I'm going to take my wet sponge. This is my rougher sponge. I've been using this one like nonstop, even though I have several other ones that I could be using. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any on my neck. I have several other sponges that I could be using. I was given two recently for like Christmas. One is like I think it's Makeup Revolution, Harley Quinn. So that one's just like cute. And then I was also given a an actual Beauty Blender brand sponge. I need to use those. I also want to point out that this is kind of a light coverage product. I'm sure you could build it up, but I've really been enjoying light coverage lately, so I like that about this product. So as you can see, you know, I'm not doing a ton of like separating. What I mean by that is I'm not like trying to make sure that the two shades are completely separate from one another. Like if there's some of the LM2 Neutral on the sponge and it gets where the LM1 Cool is, that's fine with me. I'm just kind of blending everything together. And obviously, if I had had the ability to look at these in store, I probably would have just stuck with one. But since I have two, I'm kind of playing with the idea of using them both. I think, I haven't tried it yet, but I could probably use the LM2 Neutral by itself, and I would probably be fine. I don't know. What do we think of this so far? Gotta make sure it's like going up into my hairline a little more. I still feel like both of these have some yellow to them. I feel like all foundation winds up having a little bit more yellow to it than what I really feel like my skin tone has. I don't know, maybe that's just me being crazy. I look a little bit dead. I need to get that concealer on. So I want to just compare my Huda concealer. So this is the Huda. I'm going to put it up top. That's the Huda, and then I'm going to show you the Fenty under it. They're very similar in terms of undertone, but I think that the Huda is a little bit brighter and a little bit more kind of pinky. Oh, maybe it's not more pinky, but it's definitely a lighter shade. But, you know, you would think that the Fenty one might not do its job to kind of brighten the under eye, but it does. It does its job very well. So let's just apply that, and you can see. This is, I think, the third time now that I am trying the Fenty concealer. It really is so nice. I don't know if I like it more than the Huda. I still need to play with the Huda some more, but I definitely am enjoying the Fenty concealer. I found out recently that they actually have like an under eye brightener. It's like not quite a concealer. It's just like an under eye brightening thing. I kind of want to try that. I want to see if I could do like some minimalist makeup with that. Anytime I ever try to do like minimalist makeup, it always ends up full glam. Anytime I go into a look like, oh, I'm just gonna keep it simple, before I know it, it's just a disastrous high glam mess. Okay, you see, it does brighten it really nicely. It does the job. It's very, very nice. And it lasts pretty nicely as well. It's not quite as like creamy as like I guess liquidy as the Huda. I kind of like the consistency of the Huda better. Maybe. But I don't know. This is what it looks like. Let me do the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll show you the full look. And then I will report back in a little while, hopefully more than 6 hours from now. And I will tell you what I think, my kind of final thoughts. Okay, friends, so this is the finished look. This is what I'm going to be wearing today. I ended up using the Fenty concealer as my eye base, so we'll see how that wears throughout the day. But I guess I'll tell you what else I have on. I'm wearing the holiday palette from 2021, Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey from Pat McGrath. I have like this blue shade on. This is in my crease. This is on like the inner part of my lid. This is on my inner corner. And I took those same colors down on the lower lash line. think I might have put too much mascara on my lower lashes. Do I look a little ooky spooky? I might have to fix that. But the lipstick that I'm wearing is, what's the shade name? McMenemy from Pat McGrath. It's gorgeous. This was my first time trying it. It matches my sweater, which wasn't even intentional. I just wanted to try this one because I wanted to do a dark lip. And I ended up using the Natasha Denona Berry Pop, right? Berry Pop Cheek Trio. I didn't use the middle shade, like the cream shade. I just used the powder blush and the highlighter. So that's what's on my cheeks. By the way, using a lighter hand is sure to give you better results. When I first used the product, I kind of went in too heavy because I really wanted to show it, and it didn't look terrible, but it was just more than what I really should have put on. So that's what that looks like. I ended up using a little bit of my Huda setting powder, the Cherry Blossom Cake Easy Bake powder, just like in here, just because that's where I get pretty oily, and I do have my makeup wear away there when I wear my glasses. In my brows, I use the black from this YSL Clutch palette. It's just this black here. I just kind of took it into my brows because that's generally how I do my brows. I just stick a shadow in there. So I will report back to you folks later this evening, and I'll tell you how these products wear over time. By the way, if you wanted to know specifically about my skin type, I am pretty oily, so these products are really going to be tested against my oily skin. I'm actually sitting here right now kind of sweating a little bit. This sweater is a little bit too much for me right now sitting in my apartment. It's 68 degrees in here, but it feels wicked hot. I don't know why, but yeah, so just so you know, I do have very oily skin, so I'm really going to put this stuff to the test today. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did use my NYX matte finishing setting spray. I did several bursts of that, so that's also going to be contributing to the wear time. Okay, friends, so it has been almost 9 hours that I've been wearing this makeup, and aside from me being extremely glowy, because like I said, very oily skin, it looks pretty good, don't you think? The lips, don't even look at the lips. I think that the concealer as eye primer didn't really, I mean, 9 hours for me with my hooded oily eyes, very deep set, that's pushing it for eyeshadow. Like, that's a stretch. So even my favorite eye primer from Sigma, after a certain amount of time, it's going to just start to break up anyway, and that depends also on the eyeshadows that I used. So I would say maybe some other primer would have been better, but for being a concealer and, you know, the way that it stayed on, I honestly think that it did better than most concealers would as an eye primer, because it isn't as liquidy as a concealer. By the way, I mean, where's my mirror? I want to look at this up close. Oh, it's right here. So I'm just looking at it in my mirror. It looks really, really good. I have some fallout that I seem to have gotten on the lower part of my nose and such, so just ignore that. See this area here where my glasses wore away the product, both concealer and foundation. It doesn't look that bad. I guess I took off my glasses at one point and kind of patted it, but I didn't do like major touch-ups. I mean, as you can see, I'm so oily right now. I haven't touched anything up. I haven't powdered. I haven't reapplied anything. This is just me after just about 9 hours of wearing these products. The concealer looks really, really good. I mean, in my opinion, I always have like these fine lines here that, you know, nothing gets rid of, but I mean, what do you think? It looks, I don't know why I'm showing you my lids. We already talked about that, but I think it looks pretty good, right? It holds up. It's, I'm looking at my forehead. I know I had it on there. My nose looks very natural. Everything looks pretty good. I mean, again, shiny as heck, but still good. When it comes to the foundation, I also think that it held up really nicely. And like I said, it's not like a super heavy coverage. You might be able to build it up if you use more, but I've been more into lighter coverage lately anyway. I think that it looks good. You know, it looks pretty natural. It looks like my skin. You can see, at least in person, you can see like little blemishes and stuff. So it's not like a mask over my face. It looks good over my stubble at this length. I don't know if you would need to be aware of that yourself, but that's something that I have to be aware of. At this length, it's not that hard to make foundation work with my stubble as it is, but just, you know, just an observation. It looks good over my stubble. I'm not seeing any glaring issues. I keep wanting to go back to the fact that I'm so shiny though. I just keep thinking about how shiny I look. I'm just gonna pop on a little bit of powder on my like center forehead just to show you how much of a difference it will make. That's so nice. Tempted to put some here. Okay. Okay, so that has been my very first touch-up of the night. And everything still looks really good, I think. Ooh, that just revitalized everything, didn't it? It almost looks like new. By the way, I'm wearing like a different sweater now too. Everything's all different. And again, I just want to reiterate, obviously super oily skin. I didn't do anything particularly strenuous, so I wasn't like sweating like crazy. And after I filmed that first part, I ended up taking off my sweater. So I wasn't super sweaty after that. You know, it's cool here. Right now, my apartment is 64, so I'm comfortable. And, you know, it's cold outside. And these are the results after 9 hours of my oily skin trying to fight its way through this product. I think it holds up. What do you think? Getting close. Looks pretty good. There's like visible powder here. I mean, you can see like stubble and like there's like a tiny little zit there. By the way, I've never ever done this. I've never filmed myself after like hours of having makeup on, mostly because I hate the way that eyeshadow looks once it breaks up, but first time for everything. I think it still looks really freaking good. Don't you? And part of me is like, oh, maybe I should have done the up close earlier so you could have seen what it was like then, but honestly, who cares what it looks like when you first put it on? 9 hours later, that's when it really matters. Okay, friends, so I do hope that you enjoyed this one. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But I just wanted to give you an idea about wear time on these new products, how they look on me. Hopefully, if you were wondering in terms of like shades, if you're anything like me, these shades will both probably work for you. The, what was it, LM1 Cool and the LM2 Neutral. Like, I feel like I could do a full face of just one of these and it would be fine. This one is closer, I think, but I think I could pull off either one of these. So if you're anything like my skin tone, those are the ones that I used. And then when it came to the Fenty, oh, I never said what shade I had for this one. 240N. So 240 Neutral is the shade that I used. I think it looks very, very good. I think that all of these products work very well together. I'm very pleased with it. I really am. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you got something out of it. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys again pretty soon. I don't know when, because I'm like not forcing myself to upload right now. I'm only uploading when I have things that I need to talk about. So I will be seeing you soon though. And in the meantime, I hope that you have a great week. Peace.